I think we have stopped here. Yesterday we have stopped here. We are almost at the end. By today or tomorrow, I think our chapter will be over. Maybe by today.
So then only pandas will be left.
Only pandas will be remaining. That we will do after summer vacation. And I have already started preparing questions for all these chapters were discussed in the last few months, 2 months. And that will be the assignment as well as the questions, probable questions of the qualifying test. So questions will be coming from there. So maybe on or before 25th, the questions will be available to all of you in terms
Thank
of
you.
assignment.
Thank you, sir.
So I'm preparing all those questions topic wise. So hope we will complete our syllabus before time. What do you think?
Yes.
So these are very simple terms. I think everybody must have some idea about all these things. So yesterday we ended at the beginning of the introduction to internet. So let us start where we ended yesterday. This was our last topic, URL, Uniform Resource Locator. This is the location of a website which is stored in a web server, and that is the collection of information. Website, what do we get? We get only the information. So those are the websites. Those are located in the in web server, and those points are also there. How we could send it? How do those? How do these websites uploaded? These points are there at the end. So definitely we will see all those points. So it is an uniform resource locator of each website, that is its unique IP address. Each site has a unique IP address which is run by HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Before writing the website, the HTTP automatically comes. Nowadays, HTTPS, special security. That is for the higher level of security to the websites, so that those can filter out the unwanted files to enter into the client's output, client's device, along with the websites. So HTTP or HTTPS. HTTP is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That protocol controls the movement of the files or receiving of the information of the websites to the user. So as I told you, if this is my site, then its IP address is this. So this is a very good question. Difference between website and IP address. Basically, there is no difference. But in minutely, there are some differences. The differences is what? Who would like to say? IP address and website. Anyone? In simple term, we can say IP address is the code of the website, and website is the textual form of the IP address, readable form of IP address. Though IP address is readable, but difficult to memorize. This is the difference only. If you say my IP address is this, who will remember? But if you say my website is this, everybody could remember. Everybody could remember. So this is the difference. This is a code form, this is text form.
I cannot understand actually once again.
IP address is the corresponding code of any website. Not only, actually IP address is not for only website. Any hardware or software website you are using, say your system, I am using a system, my laptop, you are also using a laptop or a mobile or whatever. Each such system has its own IP address. Similarly, each website has its own unique IP address. So if you search this IP address, automatically this site will come. Or if you find the IP address of any website, for example this, you will get this IP address. So when the site is recognized by the when you are requesting for a website, you are opening a website, that means you are passing a request to the server to give the to open that specific website. When you are typing something like india.com, so or google.com, if you are searching opening google.com, the request from your system's IP address goes to server of Google. Google gets your request and just immediately its software converts your website's name, converts the website name into its corresponding IP address. The format of the IP address is this: Internet Protocol address. 3 digit, total 12 digits. These 3 digits can be any of between 0 to 9. 009, 101, 110, 121, any combination of 3 digits between 0 to 9. So I was saying each site has its own IP address. So actually server recognizes any site by its IP address. But for the convenience of the common people, it is written in text form. Only to memorize it, remember it. That's the difference. I think you got it. Hope so. Then web.
Yes, sir.
It's a very simple thing. Website, web, World Wide Web. W3 or www. This is a protocol. If you type a website, say you are typing a website. HTTP is one of the parts. www is one of the parts. XYZ is one of the parts, and this is also one of the parts. Hypertext Transfer Protocol only controls the movement of the files, taking request and take the action and quickly respond. It responses, takes request, then responses. Then after taking request, it finds, then responses. www, it is a mandatory protocol of any website that to handle the characteristics of the website. Simple as it is. www dot means it is definitely web page or collection of web pages, that is website, which is associated with HTTP. This is the name of the website only. This is also a protocol, rather, remember, this is also a protocol that that is mandatory protocol or program or in fact a software specially made for this website that comes with the any website name of the website to handle various aspects of the functionality of the website. Now this third part is the actual name of the website. If you want to make a site of your name, so that comes here. That comes here. Oh, why it is not working? That comes here. This is your name, user's choice name. Though if it is available, if it was not taken by any other person, so if it is available, you will get it. And finally, it tells the type of your website. If it is business oriented, commercial site, it will be .com. If it is educational type, .edu. If it is organizational type, .org. Country based abbreviations are also there. .in means India based, .uk means UK based, .au means Australia based, like this. So these are the various parts of a website. As I just told you, HTTP, it takes the request, it then finds the request from the corresponding or specific web server, then responses. And all these things, all the websites, there's a small organization, international single organization, Worldwide Web Consortium, W3C, it is called W3C, who controls the availability, functionality, in fact, registration procedures of the websites. If you want to create a website, you will put a request. There are various agencies, private agencies, who provides you the for the registration of your website. First, you have to make a registration of your name. That name you choose, you want, that should be registered first. So there are various agencies through which you can reach to the this organization. Finally, you will have to this organization will approve you. First, you have to see that that particular site you want to get is already available or not. So immediately it could be find out whether it is available or not. If it is available, then you have to put your request with your details through online form, through various agencies, and that will finally all are connected to this W3C Worldwide Web Consortium organization. These are all online procedures. Then after the approval, finally they will ask you to pay the registration fees, which is charged yearly, and after getting the money, the site will be registered by your name. This is one side. Then creating of the website, that is the second point. Creating of the website. Then we will prepare the website through programming languages. After that, next step is to hosting of the site. So then again you have to find any host agencies in which, that means in which server you want to store your site. They will also charge you. So once first charge registration, that gets renewal yearly. Then charge for the host who is holding who are keeping your site in their websites. what services will you get from the host? One is you are keeping your site, that means you are occupying his space, number one. Number two, he will provide you the the database with because you need to keep your data at the back end. Say if you are creating a website, there must be some forms, something like that. So those data, not the contents of the sites. Contents of the site you are preparing, that you are uploading to the host. There are some procedures. One ID and password will be given. So some minimum space will be provided by the host. Then you can gradually upload your site, your pages of your site in your own ID. Along with that, they also provide database also, so that you can your forms could be connected to the database, so that database can maintain the back end of the entries are taken by through your website. So these are the things. Emailing, nothing to say much about it. All of you know, is an electronic mail. Email is called electronic mail that sends text file as well as the multimedia files. Multimedia files, audio visual files, text file, audio visual files, graphics files, photograph, all that all of you know. Images, text files, audio visual files. The exchange of these files between two parties, between two persons, two individuals. Exchange of text, images, multimedia files. Chat. Still, we are chatting here also. What is chatting? Communication, live communication through text or audio visual. So that is a live communication between two individuals, or one to many, or many to many. At present, as I am hosting this this meeting, so one to many chatting is taking place. One to many. Similarly, one to one also. Normally in WhatsApp, one to one chat takes place, but one to many also possible, and or many to many is also possible. In our WhatsApp groups, this is example of many to many. All are in the same same chat box. So everybody can watch the other. So it is a common chat box. Similarly, one to one, many to many, and one to many. Here now one to many. If some individual is writing something, if I want, only I can see. So everyone is connected to me now. So one to many. If I want, I can make it available to all, but right now one to many communication is taking place through audio visual and textual. So this is called chatting. There are three types of chatting: one to one, one to many, and many to many. Though I have not written it here, I'll write down. Three types. Voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP. This is becoming very popular nowadays. The reason of popularity is across the globe, anyone can call anyone without with less, very small amount of money, only the costing of the internet. If you have an internet connection and to whom you want to talk has also an internet connection, voice over internet protocol can provide the communication between these two. This figure itself, from your computer also you can talk to anyone without expending extra money. No extra expenditure is required. Only having the same internet connectivity, anyone can call from your device, maybe phone, maybe mobile, maybe laptop, PC, whatever. This is one side. Another technique is the call can be received in the phone also, but there is a phone internet adapter is required. So through phone also, through this adapter also, you can make this internet voice over internet protocol, and use the voice over internet protocol to call anyone. So through telephone also possible, through computer also possible. Both are possible. So VoIP, voice over internet protocol. So that specific protocol, that specific software, VoIP software, controls this voice communication. So next is website. Yes, just now I was talking about this while we were talking on HTTP. I told about website. This is also one of the points of your web page and website. It's a very common question. What is the difference between a web page and website? The simple difference. Anyone, please come forward and tell the difference between the web page and website. I think everybody knows. Who will speak out the first?
Sir.
Yes. Please tell your name.
Vansh Vidyarthi.
Vansh Vidyarthi. Okay. Tell.
Sir, web page are contained in the website. Website, for example, is a vast boundary. For example, Amazon, if we use, so it is a website, and inside it there are many web pages.
So, in simple term, website is the collection of web pages. Is it? Do you want to?
Yes, sir. That's this. I said that.
Website is the collection of web pages. This you want to say, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the basic difference. Web page gives an information of a specific topic, and all such collection of similar web pages, those are interlinked, and all together is a website. One more difference: website has its specific name, like www.something.something. Web page has its own name. It is not necessary. Web page may not have any specific name. Even there is no name of that specific web page, it will work. Though each page if that page is very specific, so definitely some name must be there. What about this? What this page tells? So the topic of the, the heading of the topic must be there in the web page. Similarly, collection of such various web pages, the site is made. So technical difference, let us see what they're saying. Web page is a kind of digital document that appears on the web browser. Fine. Web browser is an online software that does what? Browser that displays the web pages. Web pages can only be available in the web browser, nowhere else. Next point, web page, it calls for the basic web programming knowledge to build a web page using HTML and HTML document. The HTML language is the basic language that is used to develop a web page. HTML must be there. If there is a web page, HTML is the common language, must be available. There are more languages, more applications are there. As CSS, this is a very common language used to create a web page. Cascading script. So basic is the HTML. So each page is developed by HTML along with the other applications. CSS cascading style sheets. It's called cascading style sheets. Once you create a design, and the same design can be reused many times. So cascading styles sheet. In some level of interactive, JavaScript, yes, see, JavaScript is very, very popular in, these are the add-ons to the web page. It makes the site more dynamic, more interactive. JavaScript is just like a programming language. Looping, branching, if-else, switch case, all of these applications are available, are used in JavaScript, just same as programming language, but specifically made for designing the web pages rather. So this is a very, very popular script. Basic script is also there, VB script, but this is much more popular than the Visual Basic script. And actually, when we at the web page, we get the simple, the output comes in terms of users or human understandable language, English language or any other language. But at the behind, if you see the code of that specific page, many things you may not understand. There are so many clumsy codings and many things that it's very difficult to discover the output that you are getting in the on the web page. So what happens? Why it happens? Translators are there, translates that code into readable language, understandable language. This is the function of the codings. One side at the back end, codings are made to run the web page, collecting the web page from the web server, and make it available to the user for as a readable language, easily readable language, understandable language to the human being. So those are there. Web pages basically focused on that specific topic. Just as I told you, web pages are, always remember, I am using the word web page, not website. Web page specifically made for any specific topic. For example, if a writer writes an article or any text, so he will write in a specific web page, and that page is only dedicated for that specific article. If the writer has in his website, other pages will contain different articles. So collection of such articles or thoughts is the website of that very person. So one page only gives the one specific topic, describes of that specific topic. This is about the web page. And website, though all of you know, but again, technically, what would be the answer? As you told, and we also discussed, the collection of web pages is a website. The basic web pages available in a website are these. These are the basic web pages those are available in a website. More than that, but these are the basic pages. Home page, there will be one home page that tells about the website, that at a glance you could understand what is it about. Then one page, what kind of services or materials available in the website. About the page, the introduction about the website, and to contact. So these are the things, these are the common factors of all the websites. So the collection of such pages is called the website. Now I think our time is almost over, only 1 minute is remaining. Now there are static web page and dynamic web page. Tomorrow I will discuss this point, okay? Static page is what? Which does not change rapidly. And dynamic, nowadays most of the pages are dynamic. Always the look of the site page gets changed. User to user, time to time, situation to situation. Those are called a dynamic page. The technical differences tomorrow I will discuss. Let us, because I think only 1 minute is remaining, half minute is remaining. So, well, see you tomorrow, and tomorrow we will complete this chapter. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.